literally came back and she's in the top picture again. Tag team match for those tag team titles. And sit up at WrestleMania. Yes. Big news, bringing out a side of Cody I've seen before. And I can't like it all because KO. JEY USO's won the Royal Rumble. And we're just like, what? And hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stuart Van and welcome to my latest wrestling review. This time looking at WWE's Royal Rumble, the annual event 2025. And it's going into a pretty short card. Very like kind of only 4 matches. It's kind of a nice change of pace. For the fact as a UK fan, it's nice to see they start at 11 o'clock at night and kind of ended around about 2ish. So nice kind of like 2 or 3 hour stint. Means you don't have to stay up too late. Really awesome. Obviously both for the Royal Rumble, Women's and Men's Royal Rumble. The tag team match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. And obviously that big ladder match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes for that WWE Championship. So a lot to unpack here. If you want to make sure you don't miss any more like reviews from the past and present, please like and subscribe. That'd be really appreciated. Please leave comments below. I would love to know what you thought about the Royal Rumble. Let's dive straight in and let's go and talk about the first match on the card, and that was the Women's Royal Rumble match. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Women's Royal Rumble match that started the whole show, where 30 women vying for that spot to go against either the Women's World Champion or the WWE Women's Champion at WrestleMania, the show of all shows, in a Royal Rumble match that was fine. It was okay. It was watchable. It was really fun. Had some cool moments, as you expect from any Rumble match. It would sit there and say it didn't have anything to really stand it out in a sense. I mean, you had a couple of cool moments as you would in a Rumble. Obviously, they kind of lean towards less surprises this year and kind of more about stuff in-house kind of stuff, because obviously a lot of NXT stars were in this one, with people like was it Rosa Perez. Obviously she was staying to at least to the end, obviously when she was eliminated at the end, when obviously was it from Charlotte. Obviously we had was it Lash Legend, who was really cool. I don't know much about her. She looked quite good. Obviously with Rumbles you can really showcase the kind of like short burst of how good they are. So I'm intrigued to see if that's just maybe an NXT what they're doing. I don't know. But yeah, she's really good in that match as well. That's to name a few. I think it's like 7 or 8 NXT stars were in this one. So that was cool. Yes, obviously the big kind of talking about, obviously except for the winner, is obviously going to be Alexa Bliss making her return after, I think 18 months? I might be wrong. Probably it's been a while. It's been nearly a year a bit. Great to see her back. Biggest pop in the night. Love the idea that basically she's might be with the White 6 again, because obviously the what she was wearing is obviously like very reminiscent of the Bray Wyatt, the Fiend type stuff, and I think it's like Fiend Forever on the back of a jacket. I think it was. It's really cool. So maybe that might be a sign that maybe she's going to be on Raw, and it's going to probably be that thing going on. Or is it SmackDown? I'm not quite sure. But yes, obviously that's really cool. Obviously we had Trish Stratus. Obviously it was a big pop to see Trish Stratus coming back, and obviously we had the big number 30, obviously Nikki Bella. That was a bit disappointing, probably for the fact that we were kind of hoping for, AJ Lee. I think that was who I was talking to, and obviously the stuff online, it's like it was people expected, but it wasn't really confirmed. They've just kind of hoped, really. But it would have been nice to see. But again, just whatever you think about Nikki Bella, it happened. So yeah, would have been nice. But yeah, so that was cool. But yes, obviously some nice shout outs to obviously Jordan Grace. She obviously now officially a WWE superstar. She's officially a member of WWE now, so she looked great in this match. She looked like you wouldn't have thought that this is a kind of a, not really debut, but kind of an official debut, kind of. And she looked great. Obviously, some of the suplex she does, some of the way she moves around the ring, the way she feels so comfortable. Don't be surprised if, like, at the end of the year, she's either got a title reign of either the Women's US title or the Women's Intercontinental, because I can see her being a really good, like, kind of Intercontinental champion, I would say, because obviously that's all about the workhorse championship. Obviously for the men's, obviously now for the women's, who's the best workhorse, hard worker, that kind of stuff. I can see her being really good at that. So don't be surprised by the end of 2025 that she's going to have, a title reign like that. But obviously that, and obviously I think Chelsea Green was really good in this match. I was really entertained by Chelsea Green, obviously the Women's US champion. Kind of the whole situation last year. She was basically, got the record, I think, like a couple of seconds. But this one, she got 2 eliminations. Obviously, Piper Nevin came down when looked like she was going to get taken out by the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. But obviously, then I kind of like to think at the end, obviously, was it a malfunction or kind of a problem? And was it when she was outside the ring, and obviously was it Nevid Piper who kind of pushed her off the edge, and obviously that could start a kind of like turning on each other situation. That kind of, it's a story at the end of time, but it's like I think the reason like people Chelsea Green because of her, she's facial expressions are great. She definitely is one of these people that kind of can over express when it comes to that stuff, and also she's just really entertaining. Everything she does is just really fun or funny, and she's just really good in the ring. So I really like way the presenter doing this, and it's really cool, and I just found that funny. But but obviously we've got to talk about the obviously we've got to talk about who won it. Obviously it was Charlotte Flair. Obviously, so I think she made a return. Would be her return. Obviously, they've been pushing it big. I kind of put her down. This wasn't talking to people predicting of Charlotte to win it because obviously there wasn't for me any clear favourite. Like not like in the men's one where there's like 6 or 7 where you don't know where it's going to go. But yes, obviously, really cool. I'm not against it. I think I get it because obviously, but again, it feels like another title with Charlotte. It's another situation yet again where she comes back and then she's put in the title picture again. It's like, I think that's the problem with Charlotte. Like, no one can deny she's a very, very talented woman. My God, it's probably one of the best women to ever grace WWE. But it's just the idea that, but yeah, again, it's the same old story. She's come back, literally came back, and she's in the title picture again. Like, we've seen that 1,000 times. Try something new. I think that's what it really is. I mean, it could set up some cool match. I mean, obviously, I don't know if they would do it. When I thought about this, I thought Rhea Ripley would be an opponent, maybe. I'm more for, a lot of people talk about, Tiffany Stratlander, Tiffy time, that kind of stuff, where we go, maybe they can do that to maybe boost up her credibility, maybe. I mean, I would love that match, but I think I would go for Rhea Ripley, but then they had it, I think, 2 years ago, so maybe they might not push that trigger, but I don't know, it's an interesting one, because I just don't see, I think Tiffany will probably, from what happened, obviously Nia Jax is absolutely dominant in this match, I should point out, having like she got 89 eliminations, absolutely insane, but yeah, it seems like that's where they're going with the WWE Women's Championship, so maybe the Women's World Championship, maybe, because obviously, maybe it's not a title, so I think she's won, because it's a newly kind of set up title, I guess. So, yeah, I'm not, I get it, I get the logic behind it, but I'm not a fan, but I guess when you've got all those names and kind of no one stands out, maybe having Charlotte, you can always rely on Charlotte to probably put on a good match and, that kind of stuff. So I get it, it's the safe pick, but I just wish they didn't go there. I wish there was something else option we can choose. But yeah, obviously Charlotte is your 2025 Women's Royal Rumble winner. And it's going to be interesting to see what she chooses. Obviously, we're going to find in a couple of weeks. But yeah, Charlotte won. But overall, it was a fine one, but it was fine. I think it was probably a good start to start the show, really. And it was fine. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be remembered fondly, maybe. Not as bad. It's just solid. I think it's a solid Rumble. And not everything's got to be like, crazy, but it done the job. And that's all you kind of need sometimes. But I would have preferred maybe somebody else in Charlotte. But that's just my opinion. But let me know in the comments below what you think. But yeah, so that's the Women's Royal Rumble. But let's talk about the next match. Obviously, is the WWE Tag Team Championship match between the DIY and the Multi-City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls. After I have all the matches in this, I was looking forward to this. So let's talk about that match now. The WWE Tag Team Championship match in a 2 out of 3 falls match between DIY and the Multi-City Machine Guns. I have to admit, when I was looking at this card, I was really looking forward to this match. I mean, it's basically reeks of like, Triple H era NXT, DIY kind of revival, that kind of stuff. I mean, we all know how amazing that era was. I'm tempted to go and watch back that, to be fair. But yes, obviously set up that obviously there's been a kind of hot potato between the tag team championships for a little while. Obviously, Multi-City Machine Guns, like 3rd week in, they won the titles, and then obviously they lost them to DIY. That's kind of, I wouldn't surprise me. Johnny Gargano has been talking to Tommaso Ciampa, because obviously playing very kind of like heelish tactics, obviously, when they won it, trying to play that there was a dissension, but it was all an act, and obviously a low blow, and obviously DIY win the WWE Tag Team Championships, and obviously kind of finding every rule in the book to cheat to try and way to win championships. I think I like the story in here with the idea that basically like they got fed up of like kind of not winning the tag team championships. They kind of wanted to basically win them, and they can't do it provided the good way. So they resorted to cheating and heel tactics to kind of win it, and trying to find any way to stay away from the Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, I was looking forward to this. 2 out of 3 falls. 2 great tag teams. Obviously, we all know how good Motor City Machine Guns. If it was anything from the early 2000s, kind of mid 2000s, around TNA type stuff, probably go like the tag team division was at this world at one point. And obviously, we know how good DIY is. If you watch any NXT stuff from like 2016, 16, 17, it was basically a match that was best men about. Amazing matches. It was set up to be an amazing match. Obviously, 2 out of 3 falls. Obviously, 15 minutes. It's going to be amazing. And to be fair, it kind of was. It was kind of like 15 minutes is enough to give these guys like 2 or 3 falls. You'd love to give them a bit of match, but it's really cool. I kind of like the thing that started. Obviously, DIY were using like all the dirtiest tactics they can do. Kind of distracting the ref, kind of using was it fake tags, that kind of stuff. Everything to distract and kind of get a kind of a cheat win and try and find a way to get that first fall. And to be fair, they did. Obviously, I kind of like it's quite unique, this one. I kind of like it. It was the idea that kind of like a fake tag where kind of Tommaso Ciampa was trying to go and tag Johnny Gargano, but he moved his hand out of the way. Ref saw it, didn't see a tag, but obviously Chris Sabin with Alex Shelley, obviously didn't see it. And obviously he was thinking he was Tommaso Ciampa, obviously, and obviously that distraction, and obviously that night, and I think it was Ciampa, was doing that distraction, kind of hit like a kind of running knee strike right to Shelley and got the first fall. And and obviously after that, it looks like they keep trying that kind of stuff, trying to see if they can maybe get a quick 2 full win and get it over with, because they didn't want this match. I kind of like no messing around. But you give the Motor City Machine Guns, they fought their way back, and were able to make it 1-1 with hitting the Skull and Bones, their finisher, to get the second fall and make it 1-1. So we've got a tiebreaker here. And obviously after this, it was just constant back and forth. Great, big tag team moves, high flying moves, all kinds. It was really a really awesome match. I really enjoyed it. And it looks like was it the Motor City Machine Guns on the verge of just about winning the tag team titles, just about hitting the Skull and Bones again. But Hooded Figures came in and attacked them with a crutch, and obviously Distraction was able for DIY to hit the meet in the middle and obviously get to retain their tag team championship. We found out those masked men were the Street Profits. Dawkins and Montez Ford. And and obviously that's they beat down kind of the Motor City Machine Guns after the match, and obviously they went after the DIY. Obviously there was getting some confusion because they'd be like, well, isn't DIY the ones that attacked them? So why didn't they attack them first? I think they kind of explained it in commentary, Michael Cole, with the whole thing with they want them to win, maybe, or like they want DIY to be champions. But it's a weird ending, because I think with this match you didn't really need to have a kind of finish like that. You just needed DIY to find a way to cheat, get the win, and then they can attack afterwards. Maybe I get it. You want obviously Street Profits haven't had much to do, because obviously they were with that Bobby Lashley group, but obviously Bobby Lashley's now in AEW. So what are they doing? So, but I like that they're involved in the scene. I like the idea that we could set up maybe a triple threat tag team match for those tag team titles. If we can set up at WrestleMania, yes, please. If we can maybe a fatal four if we want to spread it, but I would happily set up. Love to watch that match. But it was just weird. It was very strange. I wasn't. Yeah, it's weird. It was a strange finish to kind of like. It didn't need that kind of like attitude. They were kind of like someone gets involved type stuff. You just needed that like DIY to get a win by cheating. Because that's how they won it. So it makes sense that it's going to work. Maybe they didn't want them to get like a Motor City Machine Guns to have another cheat win, maybe. Like, lose again to the same tactic, maybe. I don't know. But, it's one of those things. But yeah, it was a good match. Probably going to set up a kind of, as I said, triple threat tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships that I love. I love the way that I think they're slowly but surely building up that tag division. It's the best way you do is you get 2 best tag teams, let them feud, and then slowly but surely creep in other tag teams to kind of build it up that way. Feels very kind of Paul Heyman booking that was involved, but I kind of like it. So I just love the way they're actually trying to build tag team division. That's nice change of pace, to be fair. So yeah, so obviously DIY retain, and yeah, can't wait to see where this goes. But if it sets up a triple threat at WrestleMania for them tag titles, maybe a ladder match, maybe, I am all for that, and please let that happen. I would happily watch that. So yeah, DIY retain, and yeah, so let's talk about the big match other than the men's Royal Rumble. Let's talk about Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in that ladder match for the WWE Championship. This is another match I was really looking forward to. So yeah, let's talk about it. So let's talk about Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in a ladder match for the WWE Championship in a feud that's been really freaking good. It's one of these first feuds, I think the first proper Cody Rhodes feud since probably Roman, that really has kind of pushed his character in a way that's kind of like, you can kind of see Kevin Owens kind of got a point here with the idea that basically like you're supposed to be friends, and then you side with the guy that kind of tormented me for years with Roman Reigns when he teamed up with him to go against the new bloodline, Sokoa bloodline, and I like that. I like those kind of heels, sympathetic heels, where it's like you kind of look and go, yeah, he's kind of got a point. And I kind of like the idea that Cody's kind of the pressure is getting to him. Obviously, we saw like a promo with CM Punk, I think I saw on Raw, where it's like kind of say, yeah, I get it. That the pressure's getting to you. It's slipping. And you can start to see, because obviously there's always been comparisons of Homelander and kind of like from The Boys on it. If you ever watched it, it's a really good show. But kind of because obviously with the American flag, and obviously the stuff with the kind of jacket he wears, it's very Homelander-ish. So it's kind of that situation of a guy that thinks he's a good guy, but really is a bad guy. He's portrayed as a good guy, but it's really is the bad guy. That, again, if they ever pulled off, would be awesome. But that's kind of what it was with Cody. Like you can start to see it, that, the mask is starting to maybe slip. Maybe he's getting more intense, and maybe Kevin Owens is getting that side of Cody out that maybe you don't want. But that's kind of like why I like this feud. Not kind of like it's the best one. It's going to be like the best title feuds are the ones when you have the best feud, like not the best feuds, but like the best kind of like you can look at their title ways and go, that feud was great. That feud was great. Like you can name it. I mean, it's kind of how you mark a good title win. But I'm intrigued. But this match was kind of like when I thought the ladder match KO. I think first thing I remembered was the ladder wars back in the days when was it him and Sami Zayn used to go, or was it El Generico back in the day? And I think I watched those a couple of years ago, and first time, and the way the moves they did with them bending all those ladders, I was like, I was waiting for that, and we kind of got that in the finish. But yes, obviously a lot of use of the ladders, interesting uses of it. I think we heard was it Fisherman Buster on the ladder. That looked brutal. I think that was near the end of the match. I mean, I love the idea that obviously after we had Cody Rhodes, I think, using bits from kind of taking off the ladder and hitting KO with it. I think it busted him up at one point. KO took a nasty bump, I think, on like the side of the ladder. That was really good. That looked really nasty. I mean, proper, like that's got to hurt. That's going to hurt his back in the morning. That kind of stuff. Obviously, we had, we will know with wrestling rules, is that if you bridge a ladder, someone's going through it. Obviously, that sets up for the finish. But obviously, we know that there's been that storyline where Sami Zayn's been kind of like, KO's been like, I know you've got my back. And obviously that mistakenly hitting that haluba kick on Cody in one of the Raws on the build-up. Is he going to turn? I mean, I get the idea. He just kind of came out and kind of just didn't say anything and kind of check on everyone. But I would have liked the idea that maybe would have put more tension. That Sami Zayn was kind of like got involved. I don't want him to turn heel or anything, but I like the idea that he accidentally almost cost Cody the match or something like that. Would have been like that a bit more, but that's just me with just kind of what I would want. But yes, obviously we had after we were worried. Obviously we had was it KO got up? It was shoved. Was it the rest of the way? Probably going to go up and climb the ladder. But obviously we got a crossroads from. Oh yeah, he's trying to go for a standard. Then we hear a crossroads by Rhodes. This kind of sparked a kind of intense emotion. And yeah, and obviously after that we had that fight on the announce table and stuff like that, and obviously set up an absolutely amazing finish, a sickening bump by Kevin Owens. when we heard obviously he went to that, was it on the announce table, and they were going, KO was going to hit that kind of, package pile driver that he hit on him last couple of months ago, and he was going to try and get it, but Cody countered, and he countered it into an Alabama slam, and my God, was it freaking Kevin Owens, like the way he landed, done exactly what I was hoping in this match would do, where the ladder went like that, like proper bent, and his head was kind of inside ladder, and it looked devastating. And yes, obviously after that, and he went, climbed the ladder, got both of the titles. Cody Rhodes retains his WWE Championship. But what was interesting about this one was obviously how kind of like this emotion of rage that he was happy to, but you could sit there and say he was kind of gloating a little bit, because he's just about to walk out, and then he came back on the announce table and just like showed what the belt's right in front of like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, kind of face kind of on top, that kind of stuff. So maybe this is my kind of like a grey area kind of Cody that we haven't seen before. Maybe might make him a more of an interesting character. Yeah, it's amazing. It was a really fun match. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of everything I would want it to be. Is it the match of the year? I don't know if that's I wouldn't go that far, but it had the emotion, had the bumps, it had the kind of drama, it had the kind of the really amazing kind of like sickening finish, and obviously I would love to have seen was it Kevin Owens? There was talk about like some people sitting there saying maybe we should have had like kind of like a was it a Sid run where he kind of wins it a Saturday night main event and then kind of drop it straight after, just so he can have that run, KO. But it'd be interesting to see where to go with this. Is he gonna is this the end of the story? Or is this going to be like it gets more intense? Or maybe this is how kind of people turn, like this is how Sami Zayn like kind of turns on Cody. Maybe it might set up a match between them before the WrestleMania. Maybe because I kind of like the story of the idea that basically like KO was it Sami Zayn's like, you went too far when you hit him with that Alabama slam on the ladder. You went too far. And maybe that's what they might go there. I mean, I don't know. But yes, obviously, kind of white person one. Cody's not losing the title Royal Rumble. He's probably losing at WrestleMania or at some point. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where this goes. Obviously, when it comes to who we'll obviously talk about who could face at WrestleMania. We'll talk about that after we talk about the men's Royal Rumble. But I'm intrigued. There's a lot of good options there. But I like this side of Cody. I want to see if there's just like bringing out a side of Cody that no one's seen before, and I kind of like it, and all because KO pushed these buttons and took him too far, and that's usually a sign of a good character and a good feud. I hope this continues for a little while, because I think it's a great feud. I like it. So if it makes the face kind of look a bit, a morally grey area, and obviously KO kind of had a point. Do you agree with the heel? It's always the best kind of villains are the ones you kind of sympathise, but he does it in the wrong way. Anyway, but yeah, so Cody was one there, and obviously sets up for who's he going to face at WrestleMania. Obviously whoever the person picks, we're going to find out in the men's Royal Rumble match that I can't wait to talk about, because this was an amazing Royal Rumble. I cannot wait to talk about it. So let's talk about the men's Royal Rumble. Let's go. So the main event of the evening, the men's Royal Rumble match. 30 men fighting out to either go against the World Heavyweight Champion or the WWE Champion at WrestleMania. And this was an outstanding Royal Rumble. I gotta be honest, it's freaking gold. This was so good. I think it's one of those weird times where it's like you go into a Rumble and you got like 5 or 6 going in. Obviously, you've got the obvious one that was my pick with CM Punk. You had, obviously, you got Seth Rollins, you got Roman Reigns, you had, who else you got? You got, obviously, AJ Styles, maybe you got, Sami Zayn, LA Knight, all kinds of names. These are just top of my head, but these are all people you can, or maybe, got to talk about John Cena, obviously, in it as well. All kinds of names that could have won it. I didn't know. I mean, I went Punk because, obviously, that's kind of setting up the idea that, Cody finished his story. CM Punk's story this year is going to be that he gets the main event at WrestleMania. He could still do, but that was the story, and it kind of made sense. But obviously we'll talk about was it the finish, but overall it was an interesting kind of a rumble of two halves really, where we had obviously the first half of obviously kind of like a lot of names that we wouldn't know, not names that we wouldn't know, but names you think, oh, they've chose them to go on the Rumble this year. Okay, that's cool. Give them their moment. All kinds of stuff there. I got to be honest. Obviously, you've got some really cool moments in that first half of the Royal Rumble. Obviously, with its speed, I kind of don't know him very well. I think I only know is the guy hangs around with Logan Paul. He came in and he got one elimination. That's really cool. But obviously, got absolutely destroyed by Braun Breaker and actually a vicious spear. And obviously, I think he when he got eliminated, he got chucked over the announce table. And I think I saw a video where it's like he's like took his skin off. It was horrible. But yeah, so obviously there was their moment. We had some cool kind of stuff. Obviously, Chad Gable and kind of Otis, they kind of rekindled that kind of feud. That I still feel that there's still legs on that one, that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's obviously no things like not a lot of NXT stars this year. Obviously, the big kind of only one he didn't know was obviously say his name and he will appear, Joe Henry. But I was expecting that because obviously he just won the TNA World Championship against formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. That's what I'm going to say there. But that's really cool. Obviously, he's been working it for a year. I mean, I'm surprised that they left it this long, to be honest. But you always knew he was kind of going to turn up. That's really cool. So, and he didn't last that long, but I think Roman came in and just destroyed everyone. When it came to number 16, and kind of like, I mean, after that, it was just star power after star power after this one. I can get the names up here. It's just like, let's get them up. Like, what we got? So obviously after Roman came in, we had Drew McIntyre 17, we had Finn Balor, we had Shinsuke Nakamura on 19, we had JEY USO at 20, AJ Styles was it 21, we had Braun Strowman 22, we had obviously John Cena 23. That's a big deal. Obviously we ended off CM Punk 24, Seth freaking Rollins 25, Dirty Dom 26, 27 Sami Zayn. Was it 28? Was it Damian Priest? LA Knight 29. And obviously, not a fan of this number 30 pick. No one likes Logan Paul. Let's be honest, no one likes the guy. And that's good for heel in wrestling, but doesn't mean I have to like that he's got the final pick. And I mean, I'm disappointed with some of the with it, but yeah, look at those star power, man. So many big names there. Obviously, you've got Drew, Jay, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, John Cena. Joe Henry, as we talk about there, it's just so many cool names. Like you didn't all the big names you expect to be there will be there. So we had that. Obviously, everything had a big deal at this point. Everything because obviously Roman first Royal Rumble has been in 4 years because obviously it's first time he hasn't been champion. So he had that massive spots. I think obviously we got near the end. Obviously the big talking point, the big thing that's going to talk about is obviously was it Punk throwing Seth Rollins over and Roman, because obviously the hatred towards each other, everyone was down, it's just them two. They could have just taken everyone out and kind of fold them out. That kind of stuff. Good for each other was not enough. They couldn't put it past, and CM Punk capitalized on that and obviously chucked them both out and obviously thought, well, that's it, CM Punk's going to win it. But then Logan Paul, oh my God, Logan Paul obviously had this thing where it was trying to get eliminated, and I think jumped on the announce table, and in fact kind of a Kofi Kingston spot, and then kind of went around, came back, and then AJ Styles was just about to go for a phenomenal forearm, and obviously just chucked him off. It was really annoying, and then obviously he eliminated CM Punk, the guy who was going to win everyone's pick. He eliminated CM Punk. I mean, it's great heat because now everyone hates him more. But, man, not CM Punk. But he didn't seem to be too bothered about it because obviously Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were having their moments. And then, CM Punk and fucking was it Seth Rollins attacking each other? And obviously Roman Reigns? I mean, it was I think he got a curse stomp from Seth Rollins. But obviously there was that big spot at the end where I think Seth lost it, basically. Seth lost it and he took out Punk. Or he took out basically Roman Reigns. I think hit a curb stomp onto the steel steps. So 2 on Roman Reigns, so he could be out. I love that kind of confrontation with, was it Paul Heyman? What are you doing? Seth Rollins has snapped. Kind of like this kind of side of Seth Rollins. So, but obviously they still had that thing with CM Punk. So this beef between Punk and Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, all that kind of thing is obviously got that favor we don't know about. Obviously that might be a thing you've got to give me that Royal Rumble. Was it WrestleMania main event spot? If you I've got to be involved. Maybe if Roman wins the Roman wins the Elimination Chamber or something like that. And obviously, yeah, you got to get me involved in the main event so he could be in the main event maybe. I'm obviously spitballing here. I don't know. But yeah, that was really cool. And obviously they had that in the end. And obviously with all that situation, we obviously had the final. Obviously we had the final four. Obviously was at that time. Obviously it was Punk, Cena, Logan Paul, and Jey Uso. But obviously with was it Punk being taken out, and obviously was it Logan Paul got taken out in the end. The final two was the big one. I think it was Cena that eliminated Logan Paul. So it was like John Cena, Jey Uso, and I was like, interesting. So either they're gonna go for the John Cena thing, where like he's trying to go for his 17th world title, his retirement year, or we're gonna go for Jey Uso. That I have to admit, I was a bit like interesting, but obviously I didn't know what to think. It was very good. I mean, it's like the first time in a very long time now I've been surprised. Like I didn't know where it's going to go, and I kind of was happy at the outcome. Obviously, I love the finish, kind of back and forth. Obviously, they're both on the apron, kind of trying to trying to push over push them onto the floor. And I kind of like the idea that near the end, obviously it was back and forth. And then obviously I think it was both of the ring, and obviously just was it Jey Uso was able to push John Cena off and just landed, and he was like the shock face, and then I think it was just that moment where revelation, like Jey Uso's won the Royal Rumble. And we're just like, what? Like, yes, I love it. I love a surprise like that. It's one of those things where it's like you think about it, but then you think, you know what? Yeah, it makes sense. The guy's been like probably like the most popular superstar. Was it pro wrestler in WWE since he's obviously main event Jey Uso. He's absolutely amazing. Also, he's a top merch seller. He's amazing in the ring. He's got charisma. Guy's amazing. Obviously, we had that. So it's kind of like one of these things. Like it doesn't feel like it's a shock in the sense of I didn't think they would pull the trigger on him, but they have. Like so now he's the main event. He called himself main event Jey Uso, but now he actually is in the main event at WrestleMania. Jey Uso. The question is, who's he going to go against? That's the question. I mean, I think Gunther's probably the best option because obviously you don't want him to go against Cody because there is history there. But do you really want to? I think Cody's got some of the promos going into Royal Rumble. I think CM Punk one would be interesting. The Roman Reigns one again would be interesting. Obviously got Seth Rollins there as well. All these kind of interesting options that they can go with. So a WWE Championship, I can title picture is looking pretty stacked right now. Maybe Drew as well. All kinds of different people there that could be interesting. We should point out like Drew got eliminated by Damian Priest. There's a feud that I might be interested to watch, to be honest. But yeah, so I think Gunther. Because obviously, if you put Jey Uso as like the underdog against the unstoppable Gunther, and he wins at WrestleMania, if you put that in a match, it's more likely he's going to win the title. Against Cody, I don't see them pulling the trigger on that. I don't think Cody. So if you put him in the World Heavyweight Championship picture against Gunther, I think that's where they're going. And yeah, and it wouldn't surprise. I'll be very surprised if we don't end WrestleMania 41 as Jey Uso as the new World Heavyweight Champion. That'd be nuts. I just love it. It's like it's kind of like it feels like you obviously saw the Triple H kind of being like a backstage kind of like dig at the dirt sheets type thing. That I think it's a bit unfair, but it's kind of nice that it was like things sometimes wrestling where it was a surprise. It was it a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. I think there's the kind of saying that perfectly explains why I feel about this with Jey Uso as the Royal Rumble winner. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm go for it. Can't wait to see who he chooses. I think Gunther's the best bet, the best option. But yeah, he's won the Rumble and ends a pretty awesome show. I've got to be honest. It was a very like top to bottom, quite short for what I'm used to watching. So yeah, so let's put my final thoughts and wrap this review up. But yeah, man, yes, Jey Uso as Royal Rumble winner. Did not see that coming at all. Royal Rumble 2025 is in the books. So what are my final thoughts on it? My God, this was a very good show. I have to admit, I've been a bit out of loop for a while. Been kind of keeping in touch with pro wrestling, but haven't really dived into it too much, trying to keep tabs what's going on. And so this is kind of my first way back in, start the year fresh. And yeah, wow. I loved it. I think it was like every match kind of had something. Obviously, you could say the kind of weakest one was the Women's Royal Rumble, but I don't think that's really fair because obviously it was solid, and obviously whatever you think about Charlotte winning it, I'm not a fan of it, but it's a safe bet, and I can get why they went there. But obviously other matches. Obviously, we talk about obviously the W Tag Team Championship match, DIY versus was it Motor City Machine Guns? Love that match. I mean, more of that feud, please. And obviously, kind of a bit dubious about the finish. Not a fan of it. Could have been a better ways. Didn't have to be like kind of like a screwy finish at the end, but if it sets up a kind of a triple threat for those tag titles, like a ladder match WrestleMania, I'm all for it. So I'm not gonna be too disappointed with that. Obviously, you could probably say the match, maybe the match of the night. Obviously, maybe the men's Royal Rumble is probably going to be the best match of the night. But yeah, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Great match. Love the intensity. Love the uniqueness of the kind of the bumps and all that kind of stuff. And obviously that finish, absolutely amazing. And obviously this new side of Cody that I kind of like. So I like that. And obviously we've got the men's Royal Rumble. Cool stuff. It was a stacked Rumble. You didn't know who was going to win. Totally shocked. Obviously just talked about JEY USO as your winner. And your, probably going to, I would pick Gunther, but just don't think, I think Cody would be overshadowed with other options that he's got. And if he goes against Gunther, there's more likely that they will pull the trigger on him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. So overall, yeah, great show. I love it. It's a great way to start the year. I can't wait to see what they do in Elimination Chamber. Interesting, obviously, whoever picks who with the Rumbles is going to be Elimination Chamber match to probably decide who faces who at WrestleMania. So that's going to be cool. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoyed this show. It's really good. And if I was going to grade it, I'd probably give it, if I was going to give it like old school grading, an A. It's really good. I don't think there was anything wrong with anything. It was just a fun show. I enjoyed every minute of it, to be fair. It's kind of rekindled my kind of love for WWE because I've obviously been a bit lost a bit recently with obviously stuff going on. So it was kind of nice to watch this and kind of realize, oh, this is why I love wrestling, isn't it? This is why I love it. So yeah, so can't wait to see what they do. Obviously, I'm going to try and see if I can get watch more Raw and SmackDowns. Obviously now it's on Netflix, so it'll be a bit easier to watch it. So yeah, so let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, of course, and please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this Royal Rumble. We'd love to hear your thoughts, to be fair. Yes, obviously planning to do more of these kind of reviews. Obviously, life and other stuff gets in the way, so I can't do it as much as I would like. But yeah, it's a really really fun show, and I can't wait to probably review more, hopefully. So yeah, so there's only one thing to say. I've been Stuart Vine, and yeah, have a good rest of your day, and I hope you enjoy my review. So yeah, have a good day, everyone. I say bye bye.